most of us are home these days. We're told to stay at home. So why not celebrate Holy Week at home? There are no church services, of course, but we have the church readings each day. So how about celebrating Holy Week looking at them? The gospel readings for Holy Week are mostly from the Gospel of John. And that gospel is the least like Mel Gibson's movie, The Passion of the Christ. It doesn't dramatize the violence of Jesus' passion. It focuses more on the love and meaning that's revealed there. John today brings us to Bethany and the meal that the family of Lazarus had for Jesus after he raises Lazarus from the dead 6 days before Passover and Jesus' crucifixion. The gospel mentions some of the principal people at the table. Martha is managing this important meal. Mary, her sister, and Lazarus, raised from the dead, are there. Jesus' disciples are there. Judas, his betrayer, is mentioned especially. But were there others there too? How about the women who came from Galilee with Jesus? Mary, his mother, among them. Would they be there? Bethany was the place where people from Galilee encamped when they came for the feasts. Jesus came up from Galilee with more than 12 disciples. I spent some time in Bethany in the Passionist's house there. It's a fascinating place just over the Mount of Olives from Jerusalem. And I'm pretty sure that most of Jesus' followers stayed there. So this may have been a big meal for more than a few. And then Mary, the sister of Lazarus, pours costly oil on the feet of Jesus and dries them with her hair. I'm sure that dramatic gesture was not just one family's gesture of love and thankfulness. She was expressing the love and loyalty of all those who came to Jerusalem with Jesus. John's Gospel mentions that the authorities were planning to kill Lazarus along with Jesus. You can see why so many of his disciples, faced with threats like that, would leave him. Of course, we have the betrayal of Judas. But that's why Mary's gesture at table is so important. She represents those who will never leave Jesus. She represents that great love we see in this gospel story that makes it more than a story of physical violence. Her gesture says that love is more powerful than violence or evil. That's a good thing to remember today, isn't it? When we're overwhelmed by a pandemic that brings fear and suffering. A friend of mine painted Mary's beautiful gesture that John recalls in today's gospel. She's pouring out her love in response to a love she sees in him. The fragrance of her love fills the room, and Jesus praises her for it. It was more powerful than any words of Judas or any fears that must have been there that day. It must have strengthened him for what he had to endure. And so may he strengthen us